Looks like we need to talk about Jazz Harmony by James Knapp with me, Rhys Gerwin. Welcome again. Today's chapter, well, it's chapter 3, because the last video I made was chapter 2. And I also included a little bit of chapter 4, because
I'm just trying to release a video every week, and I'm just trying to get to the chapters that are really freaking cool, man. So like, subscribe, comment, please.
This chapter is titled Voicing Down from the Melody. It's the easy way to know if your harmony works. Jazz and pop can often be notated with what we call lead sheets. You see these in the real book, right? If you're a jazz musician, you probably have read the real book. If you're a real jazz musician, you might not have read the real book. Anyway, knowledge of voicing down from the melody can help a writer and a player get that shit under control real quick. Alright, so before we get into voicing down, Jim wanted to make 4 points about melody. Number 1, harmony and melody occur together. Okay? There's a story about harmony and melody. It goes like this. A man named Rhythm walked through a park, and he met a woman named Melody. And they just went at it and had a baby named Harmony. Wait, show me again. So the points that Jim wanted to make were harmony and melody occur together, right? Harmony and melody never separate. I mean, she's the mom after all, right? Okay, number 2. Melody is always heard as a chord tone unless it is a scale tone or a chromatic tone. We'll get into that later. Now that we got that out of the way, here's an example of what we call voicing down from the melody. So in voicing down from the melody, you determine the function of the melody note and then you build it down from there. Yes. Here's a chart. Just like in my elementary school music class. All right, let's talk about chord inversions in jazz versus classical music, okay? So, in classical music, the melody is composed and the bass line is composed, right? So, rigged from the start. You don't really have a choice to decide how you're going to invert stuff. In jazz, chord inversions are improvised because the bass line is improvised, and often the melody is also improvised, which means voicing down from the melody is woke AF. Here's a couple more examples of voicing down from the melody.
Alright, that's cool, but these voicings aren't very fat.
Boy, do I have a solution for your annoying complaints. All you have to do is drop that second voice from the top and get fat with that bass. You can also spread it out a little bit more with the drop threes. All right, so now on to chapter 4. I'm going to call it 4A, even though that's not what it's called in this book, which, by the way, you should buy if you've already watched this video and the first 2 videos that I made. Anyway, chapter 4 is called Replacement Tones and Their Extensions with 4-Note Chords. Now, I'm really excited about this one. You ought to be aware by now that jazz mostly uses 4-note chords. 4-note plus, right? You know what I mean? Like, the cool chords. According to Jim, each chord has functional voices. The root, the third, the fifth, and the seventh. Each of these can actually be replaced by an adjacent scale tone, like the 9th, or the 11th, or the 13th, right? Yeah, you get them big chords, baby. This means that these extensions can actually fulfill the role of the root, 3rd, 5th, and the 7th in voice leading. This is very important because sometimes you don't have 7 things to play 7 notes.
You mean I don't have to play a C major 13 sharp 11 like this?
Cut that. It's too many notes.
Especially you guitar and piano players.
All right, so here's how we play the same thing, harmonically speaking, but with less notes.
What'd you do?
Well, here's another chart.
Refer to the chart, huh?
I wrote a song about it.
I got a root. Replace that shit. I got a root. Replace that shit. I got a third. Sus that shit. Oh, I got a third. Replace that shit with the sharp 11. Got a 7. Replace that shit.
Now, before you get excited and cut that man bun off,
Please cut it off.
you can't just replace any note in any chord with any note in any scale, okay? It just doesn't work like that.
Wait, what about diminished chords? Do they get replacement tones too?
Yes, but they are treated differently, and that's not something we're going to cover in this chapter, right? It means you have to watch the rest of the video series.
Alright, are you going to tell us about these rules, or are you just going to keep...
No, I'm going to tell you that in the next video, because the next video is going to be long. It's got chord symbol rules, all right? We got a lot to cover, okay? Bye.